I just had to show this. I mean, the Israelis are just dirty dogs. They said that, hey, food aid has come. Come on and get it. We'll be, be the first in line. And then what they did as people were coming, they were set up like a shooting gallery, and they were shot at. And I believe they said a number. I think here they said 20 were killed, but they're doing this repeatedly. So here it is.
Focus has turned to the war between Israel and Iran. The war in Gaza is becoming ever more deadly and devastating. In what's become a macabre daily routine, more desperately hungry people were gunned down today as they try to collect food aid from the new US and Israeli-backed distribution center.
The United States is doing it too.
Kamani has the latest.
What to fear more, bullets or hunger? Under fire yet again, crowds of desperate Palestinians waiting in the hope of collecting food from the new Israeli-backed aid scheme. 20 people were killed here in southern Gaza by Israeli soldiers today, according to local officials. Others managed to grab something to take home to their families. As conflict and bloodshed reverberate throughout the region, Gaza remains by far the deadliest place. Victims and the injured taken to the Nasser hospital in Khan Yunis. We went there thinking we would get aid to feed our children, says this man, but it turned out to be a trap. Hundreds of people are now said to have been gunned down in repeated incidents around the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation sites in the few weeks they've been operating.
So in a few weeks, hundreds gunned down.
A British doctor in Gaza who says he's treated half a dozen victims, all apparently shot whilst lying down.
So if you've got
shot while lying down
to let's say your left shoulder area and then going through your scalp, so that the trajectory of that has to be, so it's either you're standing up and the bullet's coming from absolutely straight down, which vertically down, that's not realistic, or you would have to been lying down on the ground, probably with your hands out face down, and so it glances your shoulder and then the back of your head. So if you see that's an example of the same pattern in patients, you're like, well, that's not accidental.
And tell me about some of the other cases you've been dealing with.
He's a 15-year-old boy who's in ITU. Shrapnel's gone through his spinal cord, so he's paraplegic, so nothing below his waist. And he sort of says, "Can I die, please?" And part of that is because he's got no family, so his family's all dead as well now. And you're thinking, oh, how's he going to manage in a wheelchair around Gaza in the rubble, by himself?
The missile strikes being exchanged by Israel and Iran mean the focus is no longer on Gaza, but the suffering here is as awful as it's ever been.
They have been doing this with this aid. When they do offer aid, they'll have maybe thousands of meals or bits of meal, which can, if you eat at starvation levels, you can maybe get 3 days out of whatever aid you get. This is before they were doing this trap stuff. But if you got the package of meals, of course, they'd never send enough for the people that need it, so that you would be surrounded by people who would be begging for part of your meal. So something, if you got it, that they're advertising, it's going to last you 3 days, it's really going to last you one if you share, or 3 meager days of meals, but you're going to have to watch people around you sitting around starving. So they're really playing games with this aid. It's the cruelest thing you can do to a person. And then they have it, of course, up and down. I think that Gaza Strip is 25 miles long, so that one time they'll have it near the north, and then they'll have it at the south, So people are running back and forth. They don't have any energy anyway. And then they're water deprived. And they're dirty. And so on and so forth. And so they're running them back and forth for this aid. And it's really demonic torture, I think. So I just saw this. I couldn't believe it now that they're setting people up, sending them into a shooting gallery in order to get a chance at whatever aid is there. And they're doing this every day. Okay, what do you think? War, Israel, and this is Gaza. And then we, of course, have Israel and Iran, and they want to draw the United States in. But I don't know what the United States would be fighting for. You know, why would we be in this? Trump wants to get in because they gave $1 billion and more to his son-in-law, Jared Kushner. That's B with a billion. And plus they gave Ivanka and Jared all kinds of awards and honors in Israel. And Ivanka changed to Judaism when she married Jared because his parents didn't want him to marry her unless she became Jewish. And so his Trump's grandkids are also Jewish now. And you know, I don't see where the rest of us really want to be in this war. And we've been in Iraq since George Bush. That's 40 years. And we've lost every war over in that area. So why in the world? This is just absolutely crazy. So what do you think? Like and subscribe. Bye.